Hello and welcome to Please Don't Send Me into Outer Space, the podcast intent on exploring all that science fiction and fantasy has to offer one movie at a time. My name is Joel.
My name is Sarah.
And my name is Aaron.
The movie this week is In the Mouth of Madness from 1994, directed by John Carpenter, written by Michael De Luca, starring Sam Neill, Jürgen Prochnow, Julie Carmen. Let's see, there's all kinds of cameos in here. Charlton Heston seems to have a bigger part than others. And you got like David Warner, John Glover, Bernie Casey,
Vin Diesel.
Vigo. Not Viggo Mortensen. Vigo from Ghostbusters 2.
From the painting. Straight from the painting.
Wilhelm von Homburg.
Isn't like Duke Leto Atreides in this too?
Yeah, that's Jürgen Prochnow. He plays Sutter Kane.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Oh, dang, I didn't even realize that was him.
I know. I'm used to him looking more stern.
Yeah.
In this, and, with his kind of longish hair, he looks like a dude.
In this movie, the way Sutter Kane looks, it kind of looks a little bit like an antagonist character from a Stephen King book. Like I was thinking, The Stand. Like he looked like the
walking dude or whatever.
Yeah, the dude.
What is that guy's name?
I don't know. I took a test on it in high school. I'm sorry.
You took a test on The Stand?
Yeah, it was called AR reading. Accelerated reading, dude.
That's cool.
Did everyone have to read The Stand?
No. After you guys... Anyways, I don't know if you want to discuss Fillmore High School curriculum, but after you guys left, they started doing some lame things where you had to take... You could read whatever book you wanted, but you had to read a certain amount of books in order to... I can't believe we're doing... you had to get a certain number of points, so you could read whatever you wanted. You just had to take a test on it in order to, determine that you read the book.
That's like the reading decathlon thing that they did in elementary school.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean...
I would have swept at that.
You would have... Were you reading some books?
I mean, if I'm reading something I like, it's gone quickly.
Mm.
But if I'm reading something I don't like, I fall asleep halfway through the page.
Yeah. I read a lot of Stephen King. I think it was my senior year when the AR thing first came into effect. So I was just like, I'll read whatever I want. And I just read pretty much every Stephen King book that I could get a hold of.
That's cool.
Did any of those books drive you insane?
Like the characters in this John Carpenter movie? No. Because Sutter Kane is an author on a different level than Stephen King.
Literally.
That's right, Joel.
He outsells Stephen King.
Whoa.
And reading too much gives you, split pupils.
Oh, yeah. That guy in the beginning? What was all that about? That never came back again.
I think it was just to indicate that he was moving beyond this dimension, and it was like splitting him or something like that. I'm not sure.
I know this world is supposed to be like a dark, scary world, but I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of funny to think that this world is like a very literary based world, and most of the people on the planet are reading this author's work, instead of not reading.
Isn't that the?
I don't know.
It's like the premise of that Will Ferrell movie. Right? You know what I'm talking about?
It's the one where he's in a book.
Yeah, the author
fiction,
Stranger Than Fiction.
Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah, that's like a sequel to this. Is that
dang! Yeah, I think that might be a sequel to this movie.
I haven't seen Stranger Than Fiction, so I'm not sure how it goes.
I think that's just the one where the guy realizes that he's a character in a book. Maybe.
Yes. That's what happens in it.
Okay, great movie, guys.
To spoon music.
Like people playing spoons like on their legs. That's cool.
No.
My sister can do that.
The band
Oh, wow.
Spoon. The song That's the Way We Get By. That song. The entire soundtrack of that movie is based on that song.
Not Loving Spoonful?
No.
Okay. I'm more familiar with that band than Spoon.
Spoon's got a couple of good hits.
There's a guy who lives in our community, or at least he did, whose name is Spoon, so he has no relation, right?
Nope.
So Sutter Kane.
Oh, yeah. More terrifying than Stephen King.
Yeah, he writes scary books.
Oh.
But he's gone missing.
Uh-oh.
And this guy, Sam Neill, who is one of my favorite actors. I don't know about you. I don't know if you guys like him at all.
Oh, yeah. I love Sam Neill. I think he's awesome.
Yeah, I think he's cool.
You guys are just saying that because he's a listener, right?
If Sam Neill's out there, hey, Sam Neill, we're some of your biggest fans. For real. We've watched all kinds of your stuff that you've done, and we think you're awesome.
Sam Neill, if you're listening, thanks.
Sam Neill, if you need like a hired hand for that farm you have, I volunteer. I will help you. Joel
is a handy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm a handsy guy. I got my hands on people.
Oh no.
Ladies.
Well, it was a good podcast. Thanks, guys.
So on the level of John Carpenter movies,
yeah,
this is somewhere in between The Thing, right?
Yeah.
And some other movie he did. That's a bad description.
Are you talking about Prince of Darkness?
I mean, I feel like that's also... That's part of the... that's The Thing. That's part of the trilogy. So it's Prince of Darkness, In the Mouth of Madness, and The Thing, where it's like the end of the world type things. Yeah. Okay. I haven't seen Prince of Darkness.
I have. Out of the three, this was the one movie that I hadn't seen yet, or at least completed it.
Right. You fell asleep.
Yeah, well, I suffer from a very terrible affliction.
Sin and narcolepsy.
Yeah, sin and narcolepsy.
This discussion.
Yeah. Listeners are very familiar with my dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
So,
had you seen this before?
No, I hadn't seen it before. I've heard people talk about it, but any John Carpenter movie usually gets a lot of buzz. This one I was been looking forward to seeing because of how much I like Sam Neill, and just it got comparisons to like Event Horizon.
Oh wow!
It goes kind of a little crazy in that one too. I think this is, well, I don't know. I really like Event Horizon. I was going to say, is this better?
Yes.
It's a different kind of story.
I think it's better.
I'm going to say it's been a little while since I've seen Event Horizon. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I do think that movie has some really good Sam Neill lines in it, like specifically things that he says that like I probably would quote more than this movie. But I have to say this movie probably is structured a little bit better than Event Horizon. Absolutely. Event Horizon, but on the score sheet, though, Sam Neill is way more quotable in that movie than this one, though, in my opinion.
I feel like they both have gross parts in them, and this one, it seems like the gross part is more palpable. I don't know. It's more. Yeah. It's more.
It's less violence-based.
Friendly. Yeah, it's violent and it's spooky, but it's not as gross you out like the other one was. Yeah. Like
it's more of a creep factor than anything. Well, let's see. What do we want to say about In the Mouth of Madness?
Well, like, kind of what I was getting at earlier in the episode. Like, this is a world where people are rioting over a book.
Yeah.
I haven't seen riots like this since Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine people
like rioting over a book,
getting that upset over a book that isn't a Harry Potter book.
Yeah.
They're both demons from the other dimension, so it all makes sense that everybody would be fighting about it.
Yeah. So, like, Sam Neill is on the hunt, right, for this guy, the Sutter Kane guy?
Right. He's like an insurance investigator.
Oh, okay.
I guess is what I got from it. Because the first thing we see him doing is... the first thing we see him doing is getting committed. But, it's kind of in media res thing where, like, then we flash back to, like, how did I get here? It freeze frames on it. He's like, I bet you're wondering how I ended up in the nut house.
With the Carpenters, it's only just begun.
And David Warner's there, being taller than that's what David Warner does, right? He's just taller than everyone.
Yeah, and Sam Neill gets thrown in that padded room by that stone cold looking guy.
I bet there are real life moments like that in institutions where you hear a song playing and you're like, this is so messed up. Like, it's just too, like, soft and easy and, like, also, like, kind of irritating in some way. I don't know. The Carpenters are awesome. I love the Carpenters. For some reason, they were super popular in China when I lived there, so I heard tons of Carpenters. I didn't even know who they were before I went there, and then I knew, like, a ton of their songs. That made it over the ocean.
Oh, dang.
But
that's cool, though. That's a cool fact. Thank you.
That and the Mamas and the Papas.
I didn't experience that myself in person, but yes.
Maybe it was just Wong Kar-wai. I don't know.
Yeah, Chungking Express. Definitely. But yes, the Carpenters, and I was thinking about that institutionalized scene in 12 Monkeys where they're playing some song that's like, or some TV show, and it's like too surreal and creepy, and like it's like they're pretending everything's okay with the music or something.
Well, I feel like it's a throw to, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, because she puts on the record.
Oh,
like, right, yes.
We're supposed to think with this music.
Exactly.
Right.
Cuckoo's Nest was sad.
Yeah, there wasn't very many demons in that. Just Danny DeVito.
Movies that have an institution in them.
Yeah.
Where someone is in the hospital, in the psych ward in the hospital.
New list coming to Letterboxd near you.
Mm-hmm. A Beautiful Mind.
Terminator 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking, isn't Dracula the one where the guy is in the asylum?
Yeah, Tom Waits is in an asylum.
Yeah, Tom Waits is in the asylum.
K-drama movie, I'm a Cyborg, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah, exactly. About that same...
Amadeus? No, I don't know. Oh, wait, yeah, Amadeus kind of does that one.
Amadeus go crazy. The other guy goes crazy.
No, the other guy goes crazy. He, tries to cut his throat. Yeah.
I will kill you, Amadeus.
Yep.
Why does everybody like your stupid ass?
I thought it was joking. No, that actually has one. But okay, so Sutter Kane's an investigator, and he gets a case. He starts to get a case. It starts off weird because he's sitting at a cafe with Bernie Casey, otherwise known as the history teacher from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah.
Or if you're like me and you had parents that didn't necessarily pay attention to what you watched, the guy from Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh.
He's also in a bunch of 60s era black cinema too, of course. But he... Anyways, they're discussing this, Sutter Kane disappeared, but across the street, you see a bit of a commotion, right?
Yeah, like the way that it's positioned at the diner, there's a window and you can kind of see the busy street going on.
Yeah,
things going on out there.
People rushing out of a store across the street. Just a disheveled looking man comes out of the door, and he's wielding an axe.
Oh dang!
I thought that was a pretty good scene.
Yeah.
It's an excellent
scene.
Yeah,
the way it was filmed and everything, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing I feel like you see now when you're in real life in a situation where someone is trying to scare you. Like if you go to one of those places where somebody comes out with a chainsaw or something and you're like terrified. I've had some of those experiences.
IRL.
Scary places like, Halloween Fright Fest or something.
Santa Paula, yeah.
Not Scary Farm.
Didn't we go on like a hayride once where they were coming out of the orchards or something?
Yeah, well, at least we were going to. I don't remember if we actually did.
We did.
Okay. Yeah, something about Nick's family wanted to go, or they were...
Yeah, we were up at Bocali's. Anyway.
We didn't die, though, so...
Yes, but I was thinking that it was very effective, because even though it seems completely unrealistic, at the same time, it seems like everybody is reacting to it as if it is real.
Yeah.
And you see it coming from a while away, and then, like, when he impacts the glass, it, like, is crazy. It's crazy.
Mm. And it's the good thing about it is, like, it's going to happen. This is going to just build, because he's walking towards it.
See it.
And he's not, it's not like he's killing people randomly. He's focused solely on Sam Neill.
Yeah.
Totally.
And that's the way I am. If I see Sam Neill, I'm like, I don't have an axe. I have like a pen for an autograph or something.
So after you break the glass, will you ask him something about Sutter Kane? Do you read Sutter Kane?
And then I get shot a whole bunch of times. No.
Do you think Sam Neill has to deal with that in real life, guys?
Of course he does.
Like he's just chilling, and someone walks up and they're like, "Do you read Sutter Kane?" And he's just like, "Oh,
yes."
Oh.
He gets all those things. He's like, "Hey Sam, do you need your eyes?"
Oh.
Hey Sam, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I bet actors get that all the time. Yeah,
of course.
There's a T-Rex over there.
No quick movements.
Oh, man.
So is this our third movie with Sam Neill in it?
What do we go? Event Horizon, Jurassic Park, and this one?
Oh, yeah, this will be our third.
Yeah, at least our third. I'm trying to think. Was he in... Wasn't he in... what was that movie called? Seven Brides for Seven Brothers? No, wait.
No.
Wasn't he in... what other movies have we... Oh, he was in Quincy's Quest. He was...
Callback.
He played the bear.
That's a good callback.
Mm-hmm.
How is that tattoo coming out, Joel?
The
Quincy's Quest one?
I think it's gone. I think it's infected.
You got like a tattoo of like the entire department store, right? And each level, like...
Oh, yeah, the map.
Yeah, the map of the whole...
It's just a tattoo of Santa's boots. Like, it's a Quincy's Quest tattoo, really? Because it just looks like a pair of boots. No, trust me.
Oh.
I really liked this movie. I don't know what you guys thought about it, but I felt like it was kind of like a nightmare the whole way through, which I think they were trying to do.
Yes.
Because it's supposed to, the name Madness is in the title, so you're thinking, okay, somebody's going mad, and then you see him in an asylum or whatever, and like basically it's trying to reality check you the entire time. Like, is this reality? Is this something he's thinking about? Like, is this the way it happened? Is this the way he remembered it happening? And I liked that. I also found it a little creepy. Convincingly creepy.
Oh, yeah.
I liked that it was just busting down the fourth wall over and over again. Like, so many times talking about, like, well, this is the way the story is written, or, people go crazy because of the stories, and, like, him having those dream sequences that are revisiting the thing that he just saw, like the cop who's just randomly beating up a guy in the alley.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, then he sees it again, and it, like, we don't know it's a dream, but now he's got a pig face, or messed up face.
Yeah.
You want some of this too, buddy? And then a crowd of weirdos. Yeah.
And they're all wielding axes.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Like he's like reliving the trauma that he saw.
Yeah.
I like that also, like They Live, there's this underlying sense of humor to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like there's some imagery that is just silly. Like the person on the bicycle. Like,
yeah.
I'm wondering if it was supposed to be received as funny when it came out.
Well,
though.
but I think Carpenter does like to add a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Like humor in the sense that like you don't know if you're supposed to laugh.
Uh-huh.
or if you're supposed to be afraid of it. That seems to be kind of like a Carpenter thing, you know?
Right. Yeah, no, I think that he wants a little bit of silliness in the stuff.
Yeah. That reminded me, some of that stuff reminded me a little bit of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, nice.
Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Hey, yes. Craven and Carpenter, I bet they hung out.
No, they never did. They hated each other. One time he put on a Michael Myers mask and Wes put on a Freddy mask and they fought. Oh wait, no, that's my fan fiction.
Where can we find that, Joel? Do you have that on the internet anywhere?
Fanfiction.net.
Oh, is that under Joel's
along with all my
Joel's fanfic?
My shipping of Jason and Freddy.
Oh, I really want to read your ships.
Oh yeah,
I gotta.
Jason, you're so strong. You're making my dreams come true. Okay,
all right, I'll retweet all of them, Joel.
Yeah, no, don't do that. I'm already wanted in 3 states. Anyways, so the mystery, the writer's missing.
Yes.
Charlton Heston sends Sam Neill and this lady out to go find it. I didn't know how much of this character that this lady, Julie Carmen, who plays Stiles, not from Teen Wolf. Her last name is Stiles. But she becomes kind of a side protagonist until
something happens.
Until they phrase it like he decides to write her out, and all of a sudden she's not a main character anymore. She's just a part of the book.
Yeah.
But Kid on a Bicycle.
Kid on a Bicycle is real good, guys. Like, that was some pretty good. I liked that a lot. Mm-hmm.
That created added tension the whole time they were in the town, too, because the guy on the bicycle said that he wouldn't let him out. Like, after they got there, they couldn't leave.
Yeah, like he's been trying to escape.
Yeah. That's why he keeps riding on the road. Yeah.
So good.
I also didn't get any new clothes.
Oldest boy ever. Such a good reveal.
Yeah, and when he was the young boy, or maybe it was just a paper. It was the kid on the bike.
There's a kid on a bike. That was
Hayden Christensen.
Yeah,
that's insane. I had no idea that he was doing movies that early.
Yeah, no, it was a surprise when the credits were rolling, and I was like, "What?" As I pointed at the credits.
Poor guy got a raw deal.
Yeah,
it wasn't his fault that George Lucas was telling him what to do by not telling him what to do.
Well, you know.
No, I don't.
Sometimes there's good Star Wars, and sometimes there's a Star Wars, you know?
It's like Tarantino. He does need somebody to be like, well, you know, that's why you get the right editor in there. You get somebody to review the scripts there. He gets advice from other people. George Lucas, those 3-episode prequels, it was just all him. It was all his dream and all the money in the world to do it. So, and that's, you know what? You got to have a little respect for that.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
It's kind of like The Room.
That's right.
Except,
just like The Room.
Nobody gets together at midnight to watch episode 1.
Yeah.
Not nobody, just fewer people.
It's going to get to the point where it's going to take a week to rewatch all the movies before the new one comes out.
Yeah.
For Star Wars.
I'd say it's not as far as Marvel stuff yet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm sad that they said they're going to slow down after episode 9. I want one every year.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
I was kind of looking forward to that too.
I don't care that Solo wasn't as good
I liked
as the
it.
others.
I liked it
a lot. Yeah.
I like Star Wars. I liked the Solo movie a lot.
Like a sequel. They kind of left a nice clip,
Yeah. I'm here for it.
Since we're talking about Star Wars.
Yes.
My aunt has been in town, and she's the one who probably, aside from my mom, watched the most science fiction movies with me out of anybody when I was growing up.
Oh, cool.
And she was in town, and I was like halfway tempted to try and get her on the podcast, but I don't think she wants to for some reason. Yeah.
She doesn't want to.
But, anyway, I talked to her about Star Wars, and it was so funny because she was telling me about some Star Wars stuff that she had, like collectible stuff. And she told me she had a 1977 t-shirt that was like when she first went to see Star Wars. And it was like a black t-shirt with just white Star Wars on the front of it. And on the back it says, "May the Force be with you."
Whoa.
And I was trying to find a comparable of it on the internet because I was like, they have all these different ones on Etsy and stuff. But anyway, I was looking around and what did she say? Oh, something about, we were talking about the production of Star Wars and she was talking about like collectible cups or something. And
oh, nice.
I don't remember. But I said, oh, and those toys, like, that were the membership thing? And I said, I watched that documentary, The Toys That Made Us or whatever, and I was like, that was like a huge, like, that was a racket scheme, like, that he had, I said something like, wow, he really, like, thought about that and got, like, a subscription thing going for people and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And she made this face at me like she was gonna kill me. She made this face like, are you talking about George Lucas right now? No disrespect to George Lucas, but I was like, you must not talk to people who diss George Lucas very often, because I've heard lots of stuff from people over the years.
She must have not missed that whole episode 1, 2, 3 phase. Right? Just not talk to anyone.
I guess she just watched it on her own and didn't hear from everybody else out there.
Just ignored Howard the Duck and
hey,
she ignored
easy.
She was ready to get in an argument about the flawlessness of the original Star Wars movies.
I mean, that's not, no one's arguing that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
How does she feel about the freaking
toys?
Reissues?
Oh, yeah.
The updated garbage.
Oh.
The toys are cool, too, but I was just saying, like, I watched that show that was talking about how, like, it was an impossible thing to do, actually.
Yeah, they got certificates for Christmas that said,
you will get
this
toys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where he made all that money from.
Heck yeah.
Total non sequitur, but in honor of my aunt who is in town.
So, how many In the Mouth of Madness toys?
Yeah, the Dobermans.
No, you gotta buy,
You have to buy the pack of Dobermans separately?
Those are like the Cobra soldiers.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I was thinking it's like a never-ending ring that you just keep putting through the door around the side of the church. The Dobermans, you just spin them and they keep coming and coming and coming.
This action figure set's rad.
That's one of my favorite parts of the movie. The just unlimited Doberman, because it's not like there was a ton of Doberman. It's like every time you thought like, oh, that's all the dope. Nope, there's more coming out.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Got some more Dobermans.
Yeah, those shots were really effective too. The whole thing.
Oh yeah.
But that church, when we saw it, I was like, is this America? Because the land it actually reminded me of a building that I've seen pictures of in Germany.
Oh.
And I was thinking, well, is this even in the U.S.? Because it's a different kind of architecture than most things are. And it was in Canada, but still, it's kind of an unusual landscape with that style of church there.
Things are all old in Canada, so that makes it, it's all, what? Oh, sorry. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't actually know what kind of church it is.
But I mean, that looked like a set to me. The big, weird church in the middle of nowhere. But talking about that scene with the Dobermans and stuff like that, the thing I really like about that scene is that it's not happening to our characters. There's a whole other movie. There's a whole other thing that's going on. And that's because, as we find out later, this is the story that Sutter Kane is writing, and they're not the characters at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's like, we've come here to take down the demon in this church. Like, it's like, yeah, I don't know if there's anything up there. Let me look at this map. They're standing over to the side. Oh, by the way, those people are getting mauled by children and dogs.
Yeah, that is really weird.
Yeah.
Some disease is taking over.
Because usually, if you're the main character, somebody comes and attacks you when you're running away. But in this case, he's just like standing at a distance where he can see it all go down, or she can.
I can only describe the scene comparatively to other Carpenter movies, as like kind of the opening, or like maybe 15-20 minutes into Big Trouble in Little China, when they experience the two gangs fighting.
Like we just pulled into this alley. Oh yeah. No.
Well, that's the only thing I can compare the scene to, at least from his work.
I was thinking of that terrible movie No Such Thing. There's that part where the main girl is going to the airport, and there's just like all these crimes and stuff going on just in the background. It's like, wait, what's going? Is the city falling apart in the background? No, she's got to fly off in Norway or wherever. Guess we don't care.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of like stuff that was kind of like making you wonder if it was like satirical or something.
Totally.
When you see like in No Such Thing, when somebody is, walking by numerous crimes, like it's like, really? What's happening here?
It's like the scene in Wayne's World when he opens the door.
Oh yeah.
Like, all the fighting. Like, how's that going to help us? It's not. I just always wanted to open a door. Something like this.
Exactly.
I mean, the things that are silly, I want to talk about, like, I think the movie works as a whole. It's really entertaining, and like I said, I like the fourth wall breaking. I think the only major thing that I didn't like was when his partner, Julie Stiles, like when she starts to go a little bit nutso, and she's now the crazy, and he's I mean, he punches her a couple of times.
Yeah, right? That's funny.
It's so sudden, and like you just don't see it coming. I started laughing too. I was just like, "Is this like for real?"
Yeah, it was like a dude. I was like picturing it being like a male stuntman with like a wig, and you're seeing it from the back, them like punching each other full force,
like a Naked Gun.
Yeah.
I mean that part where he gets thrown through the hotel door is really funny, though.
Oh yeah.
By her.
Yeah.
But when she gets out of the car and she starts doing like the body horror, kind of like the Exorcist thing, that part,
like, I kind of checked out a little bit too, Joel. Yeah, at that point,
it doesn't look like her, so it's kind of like, well, this is a little more goofy than anything scary.
I think it was more like the Thing creatures,
right? Yeah, yeah, upside down head, no spider legs.
That had a little more impact on me, though. Like the Thing creatures, I don't know.
Well, I think that the Thing is so otherworldly that you can do whatever you want with it. This one, fair enough. She was still in her dress, and
yeah,
it was like
that kind of reminded me of Freddy Krueger-ish stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's some kind of like a skin-looking, like latexy thing that they do for Freddy's features, I think. Yeah. And they did that a couple times, like with that wooden door that was like breathing.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like it could have been like latex or something that was being moved.
Yeah,
totally.
But also, like the wood stuff looked really weird and wet and gross.
Oh yeah. Oh, textured.
Yeah,
definitely textured.
Yeah,
breathing, living door holding back this otherworldly monsters. That's the another thing that it reminded me of is Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the dog man.
Oh yeah,
that was so crazy.
Banjo,
so good.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, and then okay, so they go to this town, Hobbs End.
Yep.
Which they find in a really cool way. Like, I really like that it was like, oh, all these book covers, like, if you cut it out the shape, it actually makes a map. It's like, that's pretty cool. I wonder if anyone's actually done that before. And, Hobbs End doesn't exist. It's pretty funny how adamantly, because I think he goes to the library, and she's like, it doesn't exist, there's never been a town that name, and there never will be. Like, whoa. I don't think you get to decide. There never will be, lady. Calm down. They go on a road trip because they think he might be there.
That's right.
Oh, I think I'm losing audio here. Oh, no. Never mind. And when they get there by going through a covered bridge, that's when everything starts to become the story. And I think it's really creepy the way, because the lady has read the manuscript for the book he's writing. She's like, there's a thing over here. If you step over there, the painting's on the other wall. That's a loose board, and like he steps on it and like comes up a little bit. It's like she knows everything because she's read this.
Well, and it's so perfect though too, because like Sam Neill just thinks the setup is just definitely a thing that's occurring right now.
Yeah.
That this is like, because he's this insurance fraud inspector, and like she's saying these things about the loose board and stuff, so he's like, obviously she's in on it.
Yeah, it's a promotional thing.
Like at that point, he's just like, oh, okay.
And
you're setting me up.
That's why at the church he's just like, I don't care. This is a promotional thing. You guys are trying to trick me.
Totally.
People are dying over there now. Great special effects.
He's like, they really want me to react to this little escapade they made. I like that he was rocking his accent in this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever heard him talk like that before.
Yeah, I've never heard him go full New Zealand before. It's usually slightly English.
I liked it too. I thought that was cool.
What do you think he's doing in Jurassic Park?
I don't know.
I think he's just trying to sound American.
Yeah.
In most things I think I've seen him in, he's trying to act American. But I've seen Shooters, too.
Shooters?
The Shooters?
Oh, the Tudors. I see. That's
Tudors.
He plays the Cardinal.
Yes.
Cardinal Richelieu.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wait, that's Three Musketeers.
Cardinal.
I gotta watch me some Tudors.
You gotta go.
I think it's only the first or second season.
That's alright.
It's also got a young Superman in it.
Oh?
Don't mind if I do.
At least he's not Superman anymore. But,
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Young Nicolas Cage. No, wait, that's not Superman.
Who else played Superman?
Yes. Dean Cain. Yeah,
Dean Cain.
Oh, Dean Cain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's who I was talking about. Dean Cain is
cool.
in Tudors.
Nice. Lois and Clark. Adventures thereof.
Doesn't get brought up enough.
Nope.
And Brendan Roth.
Yeah.
So you picked the movie.
I did pick the movie this week.
Is because you thought finally this John Carpenter will be defeated.
I wanted to finish this movie. I felt a little guilty that I never had finished this. I just thought it'd be a nice little fun kind of Lovecraftian horror flick to watch too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always down for some of that, and I'm really happy that the aesthetics in this movie kind of apply to that too. Feels like you're staring at a lot of Lovecraft 80s paperbacks the whole way through the movie, and the super derivative names of each of the books, like so very similar to Lovecraft as well, and it's fun.
So what's the Hobbs End horror?
It's probably the Innsmouth book, Shadows over Innsmouth.
Oh. What about? No, I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have them all memorized?
Yeah. What about?
We could go toe to toe, Joel. I'm ready.
I don't
know anything
H.P.
either.
Lovecraft books. Call of Jujuju.
No, but I gotta say, there's some really rad special effects. I'm real glad that I was very conscious and awake watching it this time to really take part in all the really cool monster effects that are in this movie.
Yeah, they were kind of crazy. They were kind of over the top in one way, but also understated because they were kind of in darkness and kind of not really fully featured most of the time. Like, the camera wasn't looking right at them and capturing all of it most of the time. It was kind of like just a hint of them.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. And H.P. Lovecraft-ish, too.
Totally.
Like you were saying, Joel, something you can't explain.
Oh, yeah, they reference that in the movie, saying the things he can, the things that he says are undescribable, they're too horrific to describe. He just says they're undescribable. Yeah. I think the Jurgen Prochnow did a really, really creepy job as Sutter Kane.
Oh yeah,
That without doing anything other than just like being like, oh yes, this is actually going on, and I've written it all. You're just a part of the story. That's just the way it is.
And he had the crazy hair.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam Neill had the crazy hair after he went crazy.
And a nice sweater.
And now we all have the crazy hair.
We do have the crazy hair tonight.
We went in the mouth of madness.
Oh no.
Yep, we came back out.
Are we nothing but characters in a book?
I ask myself that all the time.
I'm the character in my own book.
Oh, nice.
It's called The Book of Mormon. No, wait. Huh? Mormont?
Oh, the Book of Mormont?
Yes.
Nice.
It is now. I want to say more things about the movie, but I'm having trouble talking about it. Like, I feel like it's a visual experience that it's kind of difficult to talk about.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something that needs to be experienced for sure. I mean, I'll pick some things out of a hat here to talk about real quick.
Yes, tell me.
I really liked the scenes where Sam Neill is trying to like decide whether or not he's sane. Like the bus stuff was really good.
Oh,
When he's on the bus.
You like the secret music video?
Yeah, that YouTube video Sarah found was pretty rad.
Yeah, I'll put that in the show links.
Okay, cool.
Don't tell people what it is.
I won't say nothing.
Basically, it has the best scene of the movie in it.
Yeah. Click that link.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that scene in the movie, he wakes up a bunch of times from like the same perpetual like cycle of dreams, and if you've ever had that happen to you before, you know what it feels like.
What? And like the other like really fun visual scenes too are like earlier in the movie when he sees that poster and he's trying to like reach behind it to like see what's behind it, but he doesn't really see it. And that's when he experiences like the cop beating the crap out of those people in the hallway. But when he finally gets back to that alleyway, crime alley, where I can only imagine Bruce Wayne's parents were murdered.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He
Gunned
finally
down.
Well, it's also where Spawn lives.
I'm pretty sure that's where Spawn lives too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And a violator or two.
Yeah. And that's such a dream thing. Like I've had this dream before, and I know there's something, and I gotta do it. And you like in your dream, you like try to do it.
Yeah,
and
but you
every
can't.
time you have the dream, it's the same thing.
But you're not finishing the goal.
Right.
You're still.
You can't do it. It's like, okay, like even in what do you call the dreams where you can actually like actively do stuff? And
Lucid,
yeah. When you're lucid dreaming, you're like, I know I have to go and do this, and so I'm going to go do that. And even then, it's like, I can't figure it out.
Yeah,
but he does, and there's a picture of him behind it.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, oh man, that's just creepy. It's real creepy.
Like, no, that's okay. I don't want to see that at all. Thumbs down.
Yeah, there are some ideas in this movie that are really good ideas, and some of the stuff in action, like seeing it happen, was kind of silly, I think, but like I still respect the ideas because there were some really cool ideas.
Totally.
In it.
What else? What else did you like?
Yeah, the creature effects.
Sarah, do you have something you want to talk?
I mean, the ending is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I
awesome.
didn't know that I had ever seen that picture before of him, but I think I had at some point. I just didn't know what it was out of context.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You just thought Sam Neill was having a nice time at the movies one day. So he
nice
took his picture.
visit. He was having a nice
sitting in his PJs eating popcorn.
I mean, out of context, you don't know what it is, but
He's having a great day, yeah.
You must be watching something good.
Like definitely, first of all, you stare at the still image, you're like, oh, he gets to sit in the theater alone. I'd be pretty excited too. Have a whole theater by myself.
It's a screening room.
Yeah.
But the
Watching
idea...
Hunt for the Wildebeest.
So this is a spoiler alert for this movie. This is one of those movies where somebody keeps saying, the world's about to end, the world's about to end, and you think the person who... It's an unreliable narrator. because you're getting the impression right out the gate that he's already gonna be crazy. And then what happens is the world does start to end, and there aren't very many people left. And he goes into this movie theater. This is like a dream that I would actually have. Like, he went into a movie theater, nobody else is there, and all that's playing is, like, the most horrifying moments, like, that he experienced throughout the course of the rest of the movie. But it's like watching, like a gag reel for him, and he's just laughing at himself. It's almost like, you know, sports bloopers or something.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
You know what? That you just remind the end here when he's watching the movie of In the Mouth of Madness. Like, literally, it starts off the same way the movie does. You just remind me of the way this movie actually opens, which is the factory printing out pages, and we're seeing him go through the things. And the whole time I was thinking, this is like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory's, or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory's opening with the candy going through the things. But it's somehow like, you know, all they're doing is printing pages, but they do a really good job of like being like, oh, something crazy's going on here.
Yeah.
And then like, I feel like at the end when he's watching himself, that's almost like going through the tunnel and seeing like, like you were saying, like the clips of just like horrifying stuff.
This is like, this ending scene, I think, was, like, better than a lot of movies end. But, I mean, at the same time, it is a little bit creepy and, like, Twilight Zone-y or something.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of playing with the idea... Well, it's breaking the wall, for one thing, but it's also... I liked that it was, like, existential, that it was talking about like how the most horrifying thing for you, in a way, is just a funny moment of like reality. And it's like, it's a moment of being, you know? And like, I also think that it kind of reminded me of how like when something terrible happens to you, sometimes it's like the worst day of your life, and then you tell the story to somebody else and it's like hilarious because of how bad it was, you know?
Yeah.
So it kind of made me think of the idea of visiting yourself from a different perspective, but also just like the chaos and lunacy of like just existence too.
Yeah, and also it's like you can, that part, to go back to the church part, it's like you can convince yourself that nothing negative is going on when the world is going crazy all around you. If that's what you want to believe. Like, oh, it's all a ruse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Wow. Well put. And that's kind of a reoccurring theme with Carpenter as well.
Yeah.
The idea that, you know...
it's like the entirety of Big Trouble in Little China. There's a person who lives one block over that didn't know all that crazy stuff was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also a thing, too, of, like, he seems relieved, almost. There's, like, a moment of relief where he's I'm not the craziest person in the world, but then he's also, like, but I was right, and being right means that, like, this is the end of the world, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well put.
I mean, how do you react to that? Yeah.
When he fully decides, like, oh, no, he is writing things, and I'm just experiencing, like, he's just... then it becomes everyone else is like, this isn't a book. Why are you acting like that? Like, well, you know... This person you sent me with Styles out to, like, I don't know who Styles is. Oh, he must have written her out of the story.
Yeah, that's a simple explanation.
What are you talking about? It's not the way it works, buddy. Like, I mean, it is the way it works. You just don't know it. Sorry.
Yeah, you're just another character in the story.
I think I liked it a lot.
Yeah, me too.
There are some things that definitely don't. There are people I wouldn't tell to watch this, but there are people that I definitely would. And I also liked that they play We've Only Just Begun to Live by the Carpenters, and that the grandma from Happy Gilmore is in it.
Amazing.
And it's a connection, because the actress that's Happy Gilmore's grandma that dies is in heaven when they're playing We've Only Just Begun to Live.
Oh,
yeah. And they play that other Carpenter song, don't they? Wait, that's not a Carpenter song. Never mind. Also, Happy Gilmore had Shooter McGavin naked and handcuffed to his feet.
Oh, you mean Shooter McGavin was under the hotel,
under the
hotel
desk.
concierge?
Oh,
She's
you know,
all
that guy
sweaty.
did look familiar to me.
Sweaty and
I was trying to decide where I'd seen a naked man handcuffed to someone's foot before.
I like everything that happens in that bed and breakfast. I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But the one thing I didn't talk about is how much I enjoyed the painting part.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is nightmare fuel for me, and I feel like I've had plenty of nightmares where, like, you know, that's if you've been to Disneyland in the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah,
you know,
the small
painting
varying
changes
or something like that. But just like all of a sudden the face is looking at you, kind of thing. Like that's
Yeah.
I don't like it. Put that painting away, Aaron.
That's right. Put the drape over it.
What if you could make a painting that's like that, like a landscape with people in it, but if you put black light on it, it reveals some sort of like horrifying thing?
Ooh.
I'm sure there are things like that.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Not just Velvet Elvises. Other things with black light.
Scary Elvis.
Scary Elvis.
Elvis.
Oh, has there ever been an Elvis horror movie?
No, but Alan Moore wrote an Elvis demon into the Spawn comic that he wrote.
Oh, good.
That's cool.
Makes sense.
There
really should be.
One of the layers of hell has a bunch of demons that are Elvis impersonators.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of what it was.
That sounds real.
Never used again in any of the Spawn stories, but the one single issue that Alan Moore wrote.
Alan Moore ripped the page and took it home, and he's like, "This is mine now." He eats it in front of him.
Oh, I bet he did. I bet he did.
Rob Liefeld starts crying.
Oh, I
Who
think
did the
he does
art for
anyways.
this?
What's that?
Who did the art?
I have no idea, but I loved the paperback art. It was pretty awesome.
Me too. The art was super cool, and like the drawing of him.
Oh yeah,
and
so good.
And then there was the Metallica soundtrack.
Yeah, totally inspired.
John Carpenter music, but did kind of sound like Metallica Enter Sandman.
He must have been rocking that album.
Yeah.
And he was just like, they got something going there.
Yeah, but we determined it was the other way around. This movie came out before.
No, but this movie came out in 94, right?
Yeah.
Didn't the album come out
No,
before?
I think it was the other way around.
Yeah.
You looked it up.
Yeah.
But hold on. What song was it?
Enter
I
Sandman.
gotta look it up again.
I mean, I think John Carpenter is an amazing musician, and he's super talented in all kinds of different genres. But I think that this one did sound much more like a Metallica sounding John Carpenter than like some of the other stuff he's known for.
You're right, 1991. Yeah, he must have been listening to it.
I think he was. I think he was listening to it, and he was like, I could do my synth thing that I normally do with all my movies, or I could do Enter Sandman.
No, it wasn't just him on the soundtrack this time. It was also Jim Lang.
Oh, okay, well, maybe Jim Lang was the big metalhead.
Yeah.
I think it could have been like when, Charles Manson heard Helter Skelter and it drove him crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe John Carpenter heard Enter Sandman
Whoa.
and he just listened to it and was like, this world, and inspired the movie or something.
And that's when he made, I don't know, what did he make?
You're saying this is the decline?
Yeah.
The beginning of the end for him?
That's when he made The Ward. No, Ghost of Mars. No, Vampires. No, Escape from LA.
Oof, Vampires. Oof.
Actually, the movie after this was the remake of Village of the Damned, so...
Didn't see that one,
I mean, that's funny that In the Mouth of Madness has a bunch of, creepy children in it, and that's what Village of the Damned is.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, the
It was a
logical
transitionary film to his next film.
Just gonna do it.
Yeah.
I like how different this is from You can take some of this silence out
No,
later.
I'm leaving it all.
No.
They must know.
No.
Hi, Coco.
They live.
They live.
Starman and this. I feel like they're separate. I think They Live is like has the aliens and stuff, so it's kind of like this.
Yeah.
But I think that it's kind of a different feeling. Like,
Yeah, I feel like it's a. Before I was trying to like say what it was a mixture of. I feel like it's a mixture of The Thing and Big Trouble in Little China, where Big
That
Little
sounds
Trouble
right.
China is like a total farce. Like,
Yeah.
it's a fun, goofy movie with some slight horror. The Thing is a straight up horror movie.
Yeah.
It's scary, but it's also serious, like in a real world. And this one has a mixture of both going on.
Yeah. I could see that.
A little more in the fantastical side than leaning more towards Big Trouble's fantastical stuff, and a little less of the real world. Yeah,
I can agree with that. This movie feels like a crazy fever dream, too.
mm-hmm.
it didn't have Kurt Russell in it, but Sam Neill was the Kurt Russell
Yeah,
character in this storyline.
Yeah,
totally.
no,
He's the Rowdy Piper of this movie, for sure.
Rowdy Piper.
Heck yeah.
Rowdy.
yeah, he's the Jamie Lee Curtis of this. Wait,
Joel's nieces and nephews know all the name of the old wrestlers from when I was a kid.
That's pretty rad.
Like, all of them.
no, that's Jimmy's influence.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I knew
Jake
they'd
the
probably
Snake.
like wrestling, but they know, like,
Macho Man.
they know, like, WrestleManias and stuff from, like, when I was a kid.
Dang.
Like,
Brutus
who fought
the Barber
who.
Beefcake, and
Oh, wow.
I was impressed.
Yeah, that's cool. It's not every day someone's
Ultimate
talking about the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Bret Hart.
the whatchamacallem twins. What are those guys called? Anyway, yeah, yeah, $1 Million Man.
Yeah, the $1 Million Man.
Yeah, they
Cool.
had, like, what did
They
they
had a
have?
bunch of action figures, so
Oh, that's cool. Those are probably worth some money.
they had.
Yeah, he
No,
has
no,
tons
no.
of
They're
them.
they're recent stuff. Like they're still
Oh.
making all the old stuff.
Oh,
he
really?
had Andre the Giant,
Yeah.
and he had, like,
That's cool.
yeah.
He had like a miniature ring too. I was having fun because they have elastic bands on it. I
Uh-huh.
was dropping the figures. They just launch. It was
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
pretty great.
That's-
Anyways,
that's cool.
there's no wrestling in the mouth.
There's no wrestling in the Mouth of Madness.
Is this our third Carpenter?
Escape from New York.
Big Trouble, Escape from New York. They Live.
They Live.
So this is our fourth one. At least.
Dark Star.
Oh, not Dark. Oh, Dark Star 5. Starman.
6.
Starman, that's 6?
We've done
Yeah,
6.
this will be our
This
7th.
might be the most popular of anything we've done so far,
Yep.
unless there's like an actor that somehow crossed over a bunch in things we've watched.
Carpenter's just one of those directors, man. He just I'm really thankful for his portrayal of sci-fi and fantasy.
His
in our
catalog
media.
resume.
Yeah, I'm into it. He really connects with me.
I actually really like it too. It's something I feel like you can put on and just watch and have fun with.
Yeah.
Did we watch The Fog, or was that not for the podcast?
It wasn't for the podcast.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was just for...
Also, that's a
for-
fun one too.
Yeah, that was cool too.
It was very entertaining. I was surprised. Because I had not heard good things about it necessarily, but I enjoyed it.
I like it a lot.
And I watched Vampires by myself. And
Oh, man.
that is dog. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's
a okay.
bad movie.
Believe me, I wanted to like it too when I watched it.
I can't.
I couldn't get into it.
You're a true believer.
I love Carpenter, but that movie was.
Oof.
It's not fun.
No.
It's not fun to watch.
No, I can't believe how misogynistic it is. Like,
yeah.
to the ultimate level.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Ugh.
it's not like he writes amazing female characters anyway.
Yeah, no, agreed. Carpenter definitely,
But-
most of his female characters are token this, token that.
This one, I feel like James Woods was just like, "Hey, no, rewrite this." So I
Yeah.
hit her.
Yeah.
James Woods?
He's hunting vampires.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
in that one.
No bueno. No bueno.
Anyways, In the Mouth of Madness.
I liked it a lot, and I'm real glad we got to watch it together, guys.
Mhm,
Me too.
Thanks for picking it.
We
You're
also
welcome.
watched Fright Night recently, and that
nice.
was an awesome movie.
Nice.
Non sequitur, but it kind of reminded me of this too a little
Cool.
bit in a way.
Yeah, that's one I need to watch. I still haven't seen that one.
Yeah, and we watched The Firm recently. That's pretty
Oh. Oh, yeah, your courtroom drama phase, Joel, right?
Yeah.
You've been watching a lot of courtroom.
I mean, if you want to see Wilford Brimley get the crap kicked out of him, I got a movie for you.
That's why he went to Endor.
You have to go through a lot of solo piano score to get to that, though.
But I'm just saying that's the main reason why he ends up on Endor.
No, yeah, because he's like,
He gets the crap kicked out of him?
No,
Yeah.
remember the Thing is a sequel.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Because he builds that spaceship.
He builds a spaceship, he gets on the spaceship and flies to Endor.
Yep, crash lands on Endor.
Okay.
He's like, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm not an alien at all. I'm gonna make some stew.
The
That's
Battle
right.
for Endor?
Yep.
Yeah, remember that movie?
The skeletons and the Ewoks and the...
I don't remember any skeletons, but
Who were those creatures that were hurting the Ewoks?
they were like kind of lizardy type people. You know, one of them wanted the power.
That's right.
And there was a witch.
They were lizard people?
Maybe they weren't lizard people. They're like orcs.
I took them to be
They weren't skeletons, though.
some type of indigenous evil race of the planet.
Yeah.
Well, they were invaders.
Yeah.
Invaders from Zim.
That's right.
I'm not looking this up. Anyways, you guys think of an outro stuff. I'm going to read the lessons you learned
Okay.
from the movie.
Yeah,
Wait,
please read
what?
our lessons. Are you saying we're characters in a book, Joel?
It's been a
No.
long time.
He's saying let's flip the script.
Let's
Okay.
flip the script.
You want me to read the outro stuff?
You can read the outro.
And then you can give me a lesson?
Do you know the outro stuff by heart, Aaron? Because I really doubt that you do. We've been doing this for 3 years.
Let's see here. First off, shout out to David D. Roy
Yeah.
and to Jed Dowtree
That's the
for
last
both
things.
our music and
Podcast
our
logo.
podcast logo.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you to our
I guess you could thank people
fans.
first, but I usually leave it at the end just to let them know where their place is.
Okay, well, thanks for liking and subscribing our podcast.
Don't do that.
Be sure to retweet everything Joel ever
Tweet at
says.
us
I don't
or,
tweet, so.
or send us a few bucks via
Yeah,
coffee to
I erased Twitter from my phone recently, so
to
that
get
I'll tell you.
to get a
Oh yeah,
few
coffee.
bucks
Coffee.
towards us. We'd appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe.
No one says that.
I'm just kidding.
Be sure to go on Instagram and find Please Don't Podcast.
Once again, you're not going to find anything.
Oh, you deleted the Insta
No, I
too?
have Insta. It's on
Good.
there. I just haven't done
Smash
any
like on that
updating.
real quick and heart every
Listen,
post.
Heart
listener,
the photos.
I'm responsible for everything other than Sarah and Aaron's eyeballs and mouths.
What's the business of this that we're supposed to
Yeah,
do?
what
We
part did we
thanked
miss?
people, we asked them for
money.
contributions possibly, and thanks for listening.
Well, what
that
if
kind of thing.
what if they want to like send us a suggestion or a movie?
Oh,
You
yeah.
can do that on our email, I believe.
Okay, what's our email address, Aaron?
Please don't podcast at gmail.com.
Okay, and is there any other place that they can get us a message that I actually look at?
Facebook?
Yeah, maybe it's called Facebook.
That's right. You can find us on Facebook too,
The
Joel.
face.
Facebook.com.
Have you ever been there? A PDSMiOS.
MIOS.
That's right. Which is also our website, PDSMiOS.com.
That's right. That you set up, Joel, and it shows links
Information.
And if they
To our
did want to
podcast.
send us money,
should you?
they can Venmo us, but
to. Oh.
Should you?
at PDSMiOS. But honestly, coffee, right?
Mhm.
ko-fi.com
That's right.
/PDS.
Get us some coffee so I can be awake during these episodes.
And all these links are in the show notes.
Yay.
If I'm not too lazy.
What's your lesson, Joel?
My lesson for In the
That's
Mouth
good.
of Madness is that if you discover that you have been written into a story by a godlike writer, maybe you should, suck up to this guy.
Oh.
Get a couple of good chapters out of him.
Oh.
It's like in The Matrix when he's like I know that the Matrix is telling me that this steak is juicy and blah blah blah. And that, in reality, I'm just strapped to a chair, but I gotta say, ignorance is bliss. You could be in a juicy steak if somebody writes you the right way.
Mm-hmm. That's
right.
true.
Play your cards right. Somebody else have a lesson, or is it just me?
I have a lesson too.
You know what? We'll see you next week. No, what?
He's already turning off the
Oh my
podcast on
gosh.
us.
I also shut off the lights.
Yeah, we're in total darkness now. Well, I'm just going to keep reading. Here's my lesson.
Release the
And
hounds.
Until we
mouth
find-
of madness.
I'll find the light switch here real quick, but until then, my lesson for this movie is hope. I hope someday I can find an ominous dark church full of dogs, because that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, the dogs were on the outside.
The dogs were cute.
I'm just saying, I hope I find a bunch
It's
of
like
dogs
a huge,
someday.
huge circle of dogs.
Yeah, that's my lesson.
The dogs
It's hope.
were good boys. They were doing what they were told to be.
That's right.
Okay, so there's that part where they're like standing outside the church and they're yelling, and then like the door opens and Sutter Kane, sure enough, is there. I want to imagine, because he doesn't come out or anything. He's like, oh, I'm not leaving, blah blah blah. And then the door closes. I want to imagine he walks over to the typewriter real quick and goes, a bunch of dogs came. Like lots of dogs. You know what? That's not enough. Even more. Oh yeah, all those dogs.
I really like that part in the movie.
That is a good thing to hope for. I think my first big lesson is don't go into this situation that he's set up with a scary writer disappears in a non-existent town and you have to wander off and find him even though some guy with an axe came at you. Like, no thanks, I'll pass on this project.
Yeah, you think that would have been a warning enough?
Yeah.
That was his publicist, by the way.
His publicist,
Sutter
the
Kane's.
Sutter Kane publicist.
Sutter Kane's publicist.
Is this guy an investigator, like a PI, or is he an insurance investigator?
I think he's specifically an insurance investigator, but I wasn't, like, we never see him in an office or anything like that.
Well, I was a little confused because he said he was freelance.
Yeah.
Maybe-
which
yeah,
seems
maybe.
weird to me that someone would be a freelance insurance investigator. But I guess maybe
Maybe it's an outside party thing. I don't know.
But maybe the idea is they're not partial one way or another
Yeah.
in most cases. So maybe that's why he keeps the freelance status.
He's got a ton of free
Yeah.
time to read, like, 8 books in one night, so I don't know.
True.
Who knows what he does?
You're right.
Is he the guy that sits outside of people's houses that claim to be disabled and watches that, like, takes pictures of them taking out the trash and stuff?
That's fake news. This don't exist. If they did, I would have that job.
My other lesson from this movie is that when you go crazy, you get crazy hair.
Oh yeah, you totally get crazy hair.
Uh-huh. Everybody who goes crazy, including the writer of the book, he gets a little bit of the crazy hair.
Another movie with an asylum scene, Young Einstein.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Because I was trying to think of, like, crazy hair. I was like, that guy had crazy hair, but he had that before he went to the asylum.
It's kind of Doc hair from, like,
Yeah.
Yahoo
Oh,
Serious.
Back to the Future.
There's a scene with Doc in a straitjacket, too.
Oh yeah.
Where he's in the
Oh,
newspaper clipping,
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
Emmett Brown committed. That turns into Emmett Brown commended. Like,
Yeah.
that's not news. Slow
I
news
wish
day.
he had been in this movie.
Yeah, it's slow news day.
Yeah. Speaking of Cuckoo's Nest, he's in that too.
Oh, nice.
That would have been so cool if he was in this movie, too.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll see you next week, folks, or in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We're splitting up the weeks here because of schedules. So
Yep. Sorry about that, guys.
I wait till the end of the episode to announce it, but you probably noticed we slowed down. Anyway, thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening.
We really appreciate it.
Thanks, friends.
Bye.
Have yourself a good one. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.